I feel uncomfortable when my husband stares at me. I, 26F, have been married to my husband, M25, for 7.5 years. We have 4 kids together, 4F, 2F, 2M, 3-month-old male. We have been together for 9.5 years total. The other night, we finally had time to go on a date after not doing many for a very long time due to his busy work, our kids, and the lack of people willing to watch all of our crazy kids. He kept just staring at me, and I asked why he was staring at me, and he said, "I'm just admiring you. I like looking at you." I don't know why, but I felt so uncomfortable. I literally felt like it was our first date together as 2 young 16-year-olds, but this time, he just looked like he had so much love for me. The last few years, especially this last year, our marriage has been extremely rocky, mainly due to things I have done that have really hurt him, and his reaction to my actions made things worse. On the verge of divorce, majority of the time he made me feel like he hated me. Seemed like nothing I said or did was good, and literally would make him angry and cause us to fight. My mental health issues and self-love have suffered greatly since having kids, and trying to get myself the proper help for my mental health has been extremely difficult and is even more difficult with having 4 kids now. I feel like I'm not sure who I am besides a wife and mother. I don't have hobbies. I never am able to put myself first. I'm always the last one to get what I need, and the things I've done to my husband in our marriage has caused me to truly hate who I am sometimes. Anyways, all of that to say that as much as I loved hearing him talk about his love for me, how he thought my eyes were so beautiful, and we were talking about the many memories of our life together, whether it was good memories or bad, I wanted to run away in the moment. A part of me feels like if he just looked at me long enough, he would start to see just how ugly, to me, I am. How possibly his life could be way different and better had he never met me and had a different wife and mother to his kids. What if he started to feel about me the same way I feel about myself? He has been my absolute best friend since I was 16. The things he has done for our kids and me over the years is nothing short of amazing to me, and I'm so incredibly thankful for him and his sacrifices. I'm able to stay home and raise our 4 kids, even though there's many days I truly daydream about having just a few days of not having to hear the constant crying, fighting, changing diapers, thinking about what to feed everyone, who needs what and when, trying to keep up on cleaning, and also somehow trying to not forget I also need to eat, drink, and take care of my body. My husband has truly helped pull me out of some of the darkest days in my life and been the one to hug me as I cried, told me how good of a wife and mother I am when I truly feel like 99% of what I do is not good enough, or I could have done better in one way or another. Despite giving him countless reasons to divorce me and hate me, he has continuously chosen to love me and support me when I know everything inside of him is telling him to give up on me. I do not understand how he can still look at me with so much love and happiness after all the crap we have been through together. We got married very young. I was 18, and he had just turned 18 3 days before we got married, and he was still a senior in high school. His parents strongly encouraged him to not marry me. Just about everyone was telling him he was making a mistake getting married so young and that it wouldn't last. While 7.5 years of marriage isn't long in the grand scheme of things, we somehow have made it much longer than many people thought. We are still each other's best friends and still enjoy spending time together. I still get the butterfly feeling in my gut when I know he is coming home. I feel like that 16-year-old in the honeymoon stage at the beginning of our relationship when we hug and kiss. We have experienced 4 miscarriages together, very hard financial hardships which included us living with my parents for about the first 3.5 years of our marriage, getting our first home, having our first daughter be born at 35 weeks and be in the NICU for 26 days right at the start of COVID, then getting pregnant with fraternal twins where I was going into preterm about weekly starting at 25 weeks, being severely sick and pretty much couch-ridden from it the entire pregnancy, to the twins being born at 31 plus 6. Baby A was in the NICU for 61 days, and Baby B spent 112 days in the NICU. We have dealt with both babies having lots of health issues, and them both requiring feeding tubes. Our girl twin has had 2 surgeries, has dealt with a severely clubbed foot that we did not know about until she was born, finding out she had a Morgani diaphragmatic hernia that had to be surgically repaired, being told she had multiple heart issues that will eventually require her to have heart surgery, then finding out she has a rarer connective tissue disorder that affects her pretty much head to toe, and it seems her list of issues just continues to get longer the older she gets. We dealt with him having a pretty serious accident at work that required him to be hospitalized for about 5 days. Me having to help him with just about everything, including help wash him during showers, him having to get a skin graft as a result of the accident. Then after the twins were born, he was found to have 2 tumors in his left test and in another growth in the right one. He had his left test completely removed and revealed he had 2 different types of testicular cancer, with one being a very fast-growing cancer, but luckily had been found in time before he had a chance to spread elsewhere. His right test was cut into to remove the growth in it in case it was also cancer, but luckily was not. We did not think the chances of us being able to have more kids was very likely, but despite all of that, we found out I was pregnant again about a year later. We were terrified thinking about how we would be able to handle a 4th child, and I truly was not sure I was mentally and emotionally capable of handling another child. But he has honestly been such an incredible blessing. That was one of the only good things we had experienced in a long time due to my actions, and just us being on the verge of divorce for so many months. I love my husband and the 4 beautiful, amazing kids we have made together. I have loved watching my husband go from the shy 16-year-old boy who hadn't ever even texted a girl before me, to being my best friend, husband, and then getting to watch him be a father and the person he is today. Now to the next story, Story 2. Marriage built on hiding things. Throwaway ACCT. My husband, 41M, and I, 40F, have been together 20 years and married for 16 years. 3 kids, 16, 14, and 5. When we started dating, he was still seeing his ex and had a problem abusing painkillers. He knew I hated any kind of drugs, so we would have a lot of fights in the first few years about them. The ex had moved on and he was no longer seeing her, and we started living together, and about 5 years after we started dating, we were married and had just had our 2nd child. He lied here and there about pills, but I know he was doing better with them. And then a few years after that, they weren't even an issue anymore. Never looked high on them, would never find them around the house, and he said he was off of them, and I believed him. So the trust started building from there. I thought these last 10 years have been really good. We get along good. He's a good father, worker, provider. Then we had our daughter in 2019, completing our family. He works a high-stress job, so when he comes home from work, the normal is saying hello to everyone in the house, then going off in the garage for most of the day to watch YouTube or play video games until bedtime. He comes in to eat or play or spend time with the kids here and there. But I take care of everything in the house. All the animals, the cooking, cleaning, wash, etc. All me. I let him relax and for the most part have been okay with that. Well, recently, 2 months ago to be exact, he confessed to me that he has lost about $40K of our money buying and selling stocks. Kept thinking he could hit it big and just kept losing money instead. He was keeping it from me for 8 years. He is currently still trying to win some of the money back. Swears he is done when he is done with the 1-2K he has remaining in the account. He also confessed he is being smoking pot, basically from the time he leaves for work at 5 a.m. until he goes to bed. Guess that explains the mostly being out in the garage thing. Says it's from losing this money and stress from work, and got him off the pills. While I'm glad he is off the pills, he still knew that I would be upset with any type of drug and chose to hide it, which he justifies by knowing that it would make me mad. Now everything makes much more sense. He was closing himself off and zoning out playing video games until bed because he is usually high, while we are just background noise in the house. I felt so hurt, disgusted, betrayed. All of the time I thought he was just stressed from work. He is just getting high to forget it all. He also chain smokes cigarettes. I try to spend some time out in the garage with him, since that is where all his things are, but I'm constantly surrounded by a cloud of smoke. Yeah, it's my choice to go out there, but I feel like if I don't go out there, I barely see him. Anyway, since finding out he's been hiding these things for years, I no longer trust him. He has broken the trust we had. We have had numerous fights, one where he broke his computer monitor, his keyboard tray, threw a knife through the garage window and screams loud and scared our kids that heard everything in the house, so they hid in a bedroom. I know he's hurt and says he's sorry for putting me through everything, but that he justifies everything by the fact he suffers enough. Suffers at a job he hates. Suffers from losing our money. He doesn't see why I care at all about the pot that he's using as a crutch, and I'm overdramatic. Then contradicts himself another day, saying it kills him with how bad it is, and that he told me as a cry of help and knew I'd be the answer, and that he has to slow down or stop. So I don't know what the hell to believe. I guess that it's not an issue and I'm just a drama queen. Anyways, we are tiring to work on a compromise with the pot. He smokes it in the mornings and can Friday night after getting through his work week. Even with this, I don't trust him. It takes me back to the pill days, and it's reopening a wound that I thought was long gone. I always wonder if he's high or lying to my face. It is starting to take its toll on both of us, and I'm not sure how to move forward. I am losing a lot of weight and stressed every single day. He's tired of fighting and says no matter what he does, I'll never believe him anyways. I just don't know what to do.